there. You ever kind of stop and think about how the same stuff that makes like a ball roll is also going on inside a plant growing up a wall? Or a bird flying?
Yeah.
It's wild. We're looking at that today, those hidden links between physics and all things living, the life sciences.
Right. You might not think those two go together, but physics is like the basic rules behind how living things actually work.
Totally. And we've got a cool article by Mukesh Tikwani from scitechgen.com to guide us. I found it really eye-opening. He says even just an intro physics class could change the game for life science students. Why is that?
Well, so much of what we see in biology, how things move, grow, even evolve, comes down to physics in action.
So it's more than just like if you want to build a robot that moves like an animal, you need to know physics.
Way more. It's about really getting it. Like mechanical equilibrium, we learned that in school, right? Buildings, bridges.
Right.
But in, say, an animal, that's how your muscles balance to hold you up. Or a tree standing against the wind. It's all the same idea.
Okay, I see what you mean. Like physics is the ingredients and biology gets to be the chef, making something amazing with them.
Exactly. And this article gets into specifics like thermodynamics, heat and energy, yeah, but also how animals control their temperature, how whole ecosystems stay balanced. It's a whole new level.
They even mention electricity and magnetism. Those seem kind of hidden in living things. How do those fit in?
Oh, they're key, just behind the scenes. Take DNA, the instruction manual for life. Turns out DNA molecules have an electrical charge, and that affects how they interact, how they copy themselves when cells divide, basically, how life makes more life.
Whoa, electricity shaping things at the smallest level. That's wild.
And then magnetism. Fridge magnets, sure, but in hospitals, it's revolutionized medical imaging. MRI scans use the magnetic properties of atoms themselves to see inside us without surgery. Amazing stuff.
So physics is behind how we move, how we're built, even how our DNA works. What other surprises does this article have for us?
Well, next up is something we're surrounded by. Fluid mechanics.
Now, I bet this is about something a little more vital than my morning coffee.
You got it.
So, fluid mechanics. Bet I can guess where this is going.
Bingo. It's all about flow, pressure, that kind of thing. Our circulatory system needs that to, well, circulate.
Yeah, makes sense. You don't need to be a scientist to know blood's got to move smoothly, not get all jammed up.
Exactly. And the rules are the same, whether it's blood in our veins, sap going up a tree, even tiny little critters swimming. All fluid dynamics.
This scitechgen.com article even mentions the Bernoulli principle. Now, that rings a bell, but remind me, how's that fit in here?
So Bernoulli's principle is about how the speed of a fluid changes its pressure. Sounds simple, but it explains how planes fly. And get this, how birds fly, too.
Wait, so that hummingbird I saw this morning, same physics as a jumbo jet. That's crazy.
You got it. It's all about the shape of the wing, making low pressure on top, higher pressure below, and whoosh, lift. Physics making the impossible look easy.
My mind is officially blown. It's like, if we could see the world through physics-colored glasses,
right,
everything would look different.
Totally. And speaking of seeing, that brings us to another big one. Light itself.
Okay, now I vaguely remember wavelengths, frequencies, high school stuff. How does that connect to being alive, though?
Think about color. It's not like things are actually those colors. It's just different wavelengths of light bouncing off them, hitting our eyes. Our whole biology is built to turn those waves into what we see as color.
So color's just our brains interpreting physics.
Whoa. Pretty much. And it goes beyond just vision, too. The article talks about fluorescence, black lights grow in the dark stuff.
Yeah.
In biology, it's a huge deal.
Okay, now I'm really curious.
So scientists can attach these fluorescent tags to molecules. Then they shine a specific light, and boom, they can track those molecules moving around inside a cell, see how proteins interact, even spot diseases. It's like making the invisible visible.
This is blowing my mind. We've gone from how things move to the light we see by. Anything else?
Oh, we've got more. Buckle up, because we're diving into nuclear physics next.
Nuclear physics. Now this is getting interesting. Nuclear physics, huh? I gotta admit, didn't see that one coming.
Not the most obvious link, I know, but it's huge. Remember how we were saying fluorescence lets you track molecules? Well, some atoms themselves can be traceable too, these things called isotopes.
Okay, gotta stop you right there. Isotopes. Physics. How's this all fit together?
So isotopes are like versions of an element. Mostly the same, but a tiny bit heavier because they've got extra neutrons in their nucleus. And some isotopes are radioactive, meaning they break down over time, give off energy.
Like, that's how carbon dating works, right? Figuring out how old stuff is.
Exactly. That's carbon-14 dating, uses that radioactive decay to figure out ages. This article says it's totally changed how we see the past.
That's wild. But what about, like, living things, not just fossils?
So radiation, which is basically energy traveling in waves, it can have a big impact on living things. Too much, it's bad news, causes mutations in DNA, that kind of thing. But get this, controlled doses of radiation, that's how radiation therapy works to fight cancer.
So a double-edged sword, then, like a lot of science. It's amazing, though, understanding those basic physics ideas lets us do so much from the past to, like you said, treating diseases.
Really shows you how connected it all is. And honestly, we've barely scratched the surface here. This Tequani article, it suggests some awesome books if you want to go deeper. University physics, concepts of physics, even just fundamentals of physics. Great places to start if you're into life sciences.
I think this deep dive has probably got a lot of people's brains buzzing. Once you start seeing those physics connections, they're everywhere.
Like a whole new way of looking at the world.
Absolutely. So next time you see a flower open or a bird fly, even when you just breathe in, think about it, there's physics happening right there, making it all work. Keep those questions coming, folks, and we'll see you on the next deep dive.